Get that Wi-Fi together, son. Here we go again. You ready?
If you love me, let me get your back.
Hold on, yo. Can you see me? I can't see me yet. Can you see me? Do we see each other? My name is Six Paths Dice, Mr. Lane. If you need me, I'm here to create. I'm here to discover. I'm here to go on a journey. I might not have said it in a few episodes, but please understand, everything is a spiritual journey. Hold on, man. Let me make sure I got my light right. Hold on, man. Let's get a little more light up in here. Not too crazy, but let's get a little more light up in here. You feel me? Hold on now. Hold on. Anyway, Six Paths Dice here, Mr. Lane. If you need me, we're gonna go ahead and get to some. We're gonna actually do Drake news today. Okay, we're gonna actually get into that because on this channel, I'm just a man with a few jobs, and one of my jobs is to help you improve your relationships to people, places, and things. I'm gonna support you in that spiritual walk, whatever that may be, because everything is a spiritual journey, and you can't make good decisions without faith. I'm sorry, you can't make good long-term decisions without faith. But ultimately, I'm here to help you get stronger. I'm here to take all that weakness out your heart. Not just on some tough shit. I'm talking about I'm talking about what you're not giving, what you're not doing. All right? And ultimately, I'm not going to just get you to level up. we're going to solve together the greatest problem in our great society, especially in the Western world, is people needing to grow the F up and be a damn adult and be a better person. Welcome to Six Paths TV, man. The Six Paths Dice here. Mr. Lane, if you need more, clap it up for yourselves. You made it. You made it. Of all people, you know how lucky. It's so many people who would not want to get a chance to hear me roast these weak-ass ninjas. But you're here with me. And I really appreciate that. You understand? Hold on.
It's cap. I accuse you of capping.
I want to start hitting buttons.
If you love me, let me get your back.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Before we...
If I snap my fingers, you'll forget that you ever gay.
I was never gay.
Exactly.
Wait, no, stop.
Yes.
No, stop. You can't. I was never gay.
So we're gonna get into some Drake and Kendrick news. So we're gonna get into that, right? I love breaking this down because listen, I have a degree in sociology, so I love studying people. So the people's reactions and opinions and expressions about this whole thing has really kind of exposed, and it may not necessarily mean you're a bad person in no kind of way, right? But in terms of people's reasons and interpretations of this battle, it really exposed how many of us can think for ourselves. How also. What's our idea of good and bad? Because what's interesting about that battle is that, for one, it plays on the fact that you are conditioned and to always hate the winner and shit on the winner. That's why people don't feel bad for rich people. People actually, the richer, the better you are at whatever you are, people see you as less of a human and more of. So, for example, right? LeBron would have to lose someone in his family. He would have to lose a limb for you to feel bad about LeBron having a bad day. Because you don't see someone like LeBron as someone you can relate to, right? And that goes for anyone that's good at anything, anyone that's good at something to the point where you're useful. You get to the point where like you're seen more as that. And listen, I'm not mad about it. Listen, if I had a fond young lady and she had a big old booty, and then one day she just don't got the booty no more, I ain't gonna lie, man. I have a hard time with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you. I have a hard time with that.
New sash.
I get new sash. You know what I mean? Shit, man. Listen, I got a lot of sounds on here, and I ain't played it in a minute.
Someone needs a place to stay for the holidays.
All right, man.
Hey, you need an oil change? Come holler.
Anyway, so you know, as we do on the channel, man, we don't just jump right into it, man. We like to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, party a little bit, have a little vibe going and whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and do a few songs, man. Let's get it, man. Yeah. insert real quick. Peace and blessings, kid. Peace and blessings, kid. Shy treat me like the king of everything. Gucci everything, moving everything. Yeah. At times I felt like I was losing everything. What? Bitch, you're mad again. Bitch, you're mad again. I probably give me like a bit of everything. What? Till my living room like a mezzanine. I be going down in Medellin. What? Keep my circle tight like a wedding ring. What? Doors never die, they go to Medellin. I be rapping till I'm 70, but then I do celebrity. Head in the clouds, then I'm standing on my legacy. Peace and blessings, kid. Peace and blessings, kid. Shy treat me like the king. Hey, we got here. Come on, man. I'm gonna do that one. I won't quit. Shots to the time I was broke to the bitch being broke. And sick, got a kill for this shit. Fresh crawfish, my shots, bitch, what you don't know? Go back on full with these hoes. Nigga, this confident gold. I've been confident gold. You think I fuck with the bro? Nigga, this confident. I don't fuck with Molly no more neither. I'm about to block party with the blue like Easter. I think I was fucking with you out of convenience. These days I'll be calling my son a black Jesus. When I was young, I know me now that I'm older. Being on my own web, maybe you're older. Still getting money when the weather is colder. Shout the over, got this bitch coming over. What good is an arm and you don't use your shoulders? Pressure hit the spot, pick got shoulders. I'm poor when it comes to talking like a rich nigga. Just get to be yourself, this why you a bitch nigga. Don't worry about the girl seeing in my deal. Don't you worry about it if I see it in the peel. Might be the reason that I ain't so stressed. I used to be a police. I'm the one to impress. I said dedicated, I raised mine, I won't quit. Shout out to the time I was broke with the bitch being broke. I'm sick, got a kill for this shit. Fresh crawfish in my chops, bitch, what you gonna know? Go back and forth with these hoes. Nigga, this covered in gold. I've been covered in gold. You're gonna fuck with the bro. Nigga, this covered in caffeine and THC. I had the black seed with the CBD. I had bars for years like G.I.Lee. You get a Kanye beat before you get by me. Yo, it's about brotherhood, roll to your brotherhood, contract on you. Bitch, so your mother good, long term, pussy come from long term, thinking don't treat no bitch like she the queen of inlet. Tax up like King George without blinking. Got to the gears down, no longer waiting, being broke to the disease, and I'm strong as an ox. I pray, give food to the ox, don't die your block, bob back to block. It's a large prison, she dropped my top, I had to get away. Don't stand the fuck up and man the fuck up, romance and self-love. Thinking my exit tells the one love, can't put it in words, I sound like Young Thug. Tops of love, make a bitch get bush. I master art, not doing too much. I tell them much for the jaws, be fucking it up. But my new rap law, nigga, enough is enough. Black excellence, opulence, decadence, smoking on our life, restraint, shit is elegant, dedicated, I raise mine, I won't quit. I done to the time I was broke to the bitch, being broke, I'm sick, got a kill for this shit. Fresh crawfish in my choppers, bitch, want you to know. Go back on forward with these hoes, nigga, that's covered in gold, I've been covered in gold. You cannot fuck with the bro, nigga, that's covered in. What else we got, man? Let's do one more and we're gonna be out of here, man. Let's do look. I had to go, I still love you. I hope you know,
Don't stop it.
say the truth. We were never meant to be. Sorry, I had to leave. Sorry, I had to leave. Hip hop cover not giving a fuck. I represented my baby, not if you buck. Divine feminine touch, divine masculine lust, being my masculine friend. I ain't doing too much, but you may not build shit. I built this whole country, leave my notes on my mirror saying, why don't you love me? Fucking 50-50, so I know you was bugging. Good men aren't kids, so let me know if we fucking, let's get it. I don't know you don't know me. Say who loves you. Ooh. There's no we, my nigga, there's no us. Let's get it. I don't know you don't know me. Say who loves you. Ooh. I don't care what you say, my nigga, that's not love. I said I'm cool with fair, and I'm friend with the truth. I said zoom, give me some warm, get loose. Feeling wiggly as a crackhead soup. I said, girl, don't talk other, just let me produce. If it's space you take up, from lies you make up. Yeah, I wish you when you wake up. We fucking with no makeup. I do this in remembrance, so I remember when. Yeah, this is when I lost my innocence. 32 years to find my path. For my son, I cut the time in half. So at 16, once we our first blunt together is a 6-pack. Yeah, baby, daddy can never. I say help between the people, bitch, I'm about to do famous. Used to want to be your nigga, used to want to be famous. It's the kid that they kitten, don't lick. Keep licking, you ain't fuzzy like Fergie, my niggas, so stop tripping the moments the way, giving the moments and stop putting shit like a good time to rhyme something with bitches, more effective. Fuck shit, you wanna borrow some friction, you don't know me no more, and Don't you fucking forget another. You don't know me. Say who loves you. There's no we, but nigga, there's no
If you
us.
love me, let me
I
get your
don't
back.
know you don't know me.
That's cap.
Say who loves
I
you.
accuse you of
Don't care what you say, my nigga. I hate you so much right now. Although you shine like a diamond because there's diamonds in your mouth. Or you shine like a diamond because I put diamonds. Whoa, what happened? What happened? Why you stop? No. Well, there's that then. Well,
It's cap. I accuse you of capping.
I guess the show was started. I guess the show started. I guess, you know what? The universe must want me to cook, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about that plantation for you weak ass ninjas. So, Aaron Pierre, this light-skinned nigga needs to come up to the front and come holler at the six pass. Listen, bro, you have a serious obligation for what needs to be done right now. This is one Tiana Taylor. Shout out to Tiana Taylor because Tiana Taylor already has a new victim. All right. Matter of fact, hey Google. Yo, every time I don't want to talk to you, like, all right, Gemini. Hey, I got a question. Yo, every time I don't want to talk to this thing, it talks to me, right? Now, let me ask the question. Where are you now, right? Anywho, I want to Google something real quick. How old is Tiana Taylor?
Anna is 34 years old.
All right, boom. All right, here we go. So it's already begun. Don't be fooled by what's going on here. Okay. Shout out to CGA. She is purchasing this man love. She is trick. Listen, you watch the nigga get love bomb right here because you gotta realize Tiana knows what's in store for the divorcee. Because this is a grown lady here. And listen, shout out to Tiana, you know what I mean? But this is a grown lady here. The age, let me tell you something. When you see the age gap shit start happening, that's the beginning of the end for women. It's almost never a benefit unless she's someone who don't really got like that. Let's say maybe he's a young man that's really getting it, right? That's the only time it really can make sense, right? But also, he doesn't have the maturity. That's another reason why a woman dating a guy that's a lot younger than her. Don't get me wrong, he's in his 30s, so he should be maturing to a certain point. But a woman her age at 34, you need Big Daddy. You need you a Big Daddy. Listen, I'm gassed up watching CJ, Coach Greg Adams. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? It's Get Him Daddy season. He told this young John, she asked him how old he was. That nigga old. She asked him how old the nigga was, and the nigga said, I'm Get Him Daddy age. That's fly. Listen, I can't wait to use that shit. You know what I mean? But nah, she need her a Big Daddy. You know what I mean? But one of the reasons why she would Duke over here too is because she has to prove that she didn't make the wrong decision. She has to get into a high-profile relationship so that she can save face. And I've been hearing this a lot. I've heard this on AC, kind of a commentary, and this maybe from Angry Man too. Women mentally cannot take L's. That's why women don't really compete. Women will spend more time manipulating people into not realizing that she's not doing work or she's not doing what she should be doing. A lot of that has to do with women don't want to take L's. They mentally cannot recover from losses. Women, because you got to realize they're the more emotional beings, so they hold on to shit. They can hold on to shit forever. That's why it's damn near impossible to really be with like a woman who's had kids with another man. She'll always kind of be his girl. You know what I mean? Unless she makes a conscious effort for that not to be the case. You know what I mean? That has to. You know what I mean? She has to have that in her. You know what I mean? So and again, a lot of guys we've experienced that where if you dated a single mother, you've always kind of felt like she wasn't all the way with you, or she couldn't really commit to you all the way. You know what I mean? And that's another reason why, like, yo, Aaron, Mr. Pierre, you have several jobs. You better put her through the ringer because right now I'm hoping that this is the game face. Look at his face, y'all. This nigga showing teeth, man. Hold on, man. This nigga showing his teeth. Hold on, man. Niggas always gotta show they. Shout out to CGA. You know what else he getting?
Wanted to wrap you in my warm embrace, and I make it last forever, babe. I get a glimpse of heaven when you let me wrap you in my warm embrace. Stop playing with me.
Playing with me is crazy. Nah, listen, that woman embrace, man. But another thing too, this right here is a lot of you niggas right here. Listen, it's crazy how everything has happened in the exact order that I need to happen in life. That's why it's important to always do the right thing. Because I came across certain content creators when I really needed to. You know what I mean? Like coming across Angry Man, I started listening to Angry Man at the right time, and I really got a lot out of his content. Everyone I listen to, right? And now I'm listening to CGA more often, and like it's funny, everything he be saying was all like conclusions I came to. I remember thinking to myself, like, why do you need this woman to like you? Or why does she have to like you? Know, people, I was being like pessimistic and whatnot, right? But and it's one of those things where you even if you're just being overly dramatic about the topic and whatnot, you have to make yourself deal with certain truths, certain possibilities, right? And men overall, you will feel first of all you'll be more attractive because you're more complete. Another thing too is you're more ready for a loss. You're ready for anything. And I've been thinking about that too about masculinity and what it really means and what it means when or what it looks like as men when we're thinking like women. And one of the things I feel like men don't do is that your bravery. You're not brave enough at times. And you're not brave when it comes to women. A lot of men have to live in fear of losing or being rejected by women. And going back to the whole competition thing too, women can't handle loss mentally. It's too much. If you look at how women deal with loss and L's, even if you're having a simple disagreement with a woman, she can spill a small cup of water on the ground. If she thinks she's in trouble, she'll say, "I didn't spill that. That wasn't me." You know what I mean? Or like, because again, in that moment, and I tell guys this stuff so they can understand. Because what guys will do, and that's kind of a part of the red pill, the manosphere space, is men trying to make sense of this shit. And at some point, even before I started listening to CGA, I was like, you know what? I'm doing this for me. I said it a few times. Truth is, I started doing this for me. I got some love in my life. You went and got a degree. It was funny. It's like I wanted with somebody who was working on their masters at the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like that's what happened. Like she got that degree, and then boom. You know, a few months later, never heard from her again. You know what I mean? And like every day, I realized like, damn. At one point, I was afraid to lose this person, and every day I was like, damn. Like you know what? This person's holding me back. Right? Not only that. A lot of men, again, you know, we also touching on the low self-esteem thing. And the reason why I bring it up when it comes to old boy right here is because, again, nigga, you realize she's trying to put you in cleanup man position. She's priming you. Listen, this nigga's getting love bombed. Let me show you this video real quick. Which, again, it's not a bad video. It's just giving what happened recently. I ain't gonna lie. It's a little gay that he put his hands like this because he's surprised. Is he holding his chest? Nah, that nigga loose. That nigga, I'm gonna tell you right now, that nigga's loose. And he's real moldable. That nigga is moldable. He came in. Hold on, we gotta watch that shit again, bro. And he came in and covered his mouth, and he clutched his pearls when he came in his bitch. Hold on, son. Oh my goodness! Oh girl, this is so nice, babe. This is so nice. Oh my god! Oh my god! Thanks, babe. Thank you so much, babe. And thanks for the money.
birthday.
Nigga hold his chest.
Happy birthday. Yes, sir. Happy birthday.
All right, bro. All right, man. We got to talk again, bro. All right, man. You are not. Listen. You represent for all the light skinned ninjas right now. Right now, we are at war. You understand, Mr. Pierre? We're at war. This is no laughing matter. This is some serious shit. You cannot take an L here. And in case I don't understand why I'm talking this way about the situations, because of how she did her ex-husband. Watch how people speak on the people that they laid with, had kids with, and was married to. The way that she spoke about their marriage and everything, she. And another thing was the fact that he's a retired ball player, right? She's doing Tyler Perry movies, so as far as like Keisha's go, that's. I mean, shit, she outperforming what we thought she was going to be. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like somehow Tiana Taylor's like still here. I don't know how. Tiana Taylor has been around. Tiana Taylor was originally. Well, she was like an influencer before like that was a thing, right? And she was in the Jay-Z video for Blue Magic. So Tiana Taylor, has a very distinct like look, right? Where it's like kind of, it's like she's like you are. I can't say she's not attractive, you know what I mean? But she has a distinct look, you know what I mean? She has a very like unique look, all right? And like but it's not in a bad way, right? But she was known for having this big hair, and she could dance and everything, right? And it's funny, I forgot about this shit. I forgot that I met Tiana Taylor. This is back when Tiana had songs. She would make here and there. She had a song called Google Me, which was a pretty dope track at the time, back in 2007. And I met her at a fashion show, and she took a picture with me in one of my shirts. I wish I could find that picture. Me, my boy Al B, and Tiana Taylor. And I'm like, damn, I forgot that. We actually met. And, we got a chance to see her perform a little bit. And this is back in 2007, right? So, but all that was from like, her being in this video and kind of just being a part of the scene, but she was an artist. And I believe she was signed to I think she was signed to Pharrell, or she was fucking with Pharrell at the time, right? And what else? So, but she never really went nowhere until she got around good music. So when she was able to get on the Good Music album and everything and be along with Kanye, that helped to get some more eyes on her. People took her a little more serious, and she got to be on the Dark Fantasy album. So it was after that, you know what I'm saying? Like she started kind of getting, more of those looks and whatnot, and people getting a chance to kind of see what she's made of and everything. And she started putting albums out and so on and so forth. But essentially, this is like a 2000s influencer. So, but for the most part, listen, she's still here. I mean, she looks great. She's held on to that body matured good. But at the same time, it's not honorable and it's not classy. Because she made a video coming online talking about basically trying to clarify the court documents that came out about, their divorce and what she got, right? And again, she thinks we can't read. The stuff she got, it said awarded or rewarded or awarded with, meaning that it was given to her as pursuant of the divorce terms, right? Meaning that's what you got. She tried to make it seem as though a lot of these things were things she already owned. Now, mind you, when people talk about net worth, the things they own are a part of their net worth, right? Like she got four properties, you know what I'm saying? Like several cars, a few vans, this mad shit. And if it was yours, then it wouldn't be a part of the conversation. If it was just yours, because I'm not, mind you, these two been married for a while. And been together for a long time. And one more thing was, again, like Aaron is 31. That's not really young, but that's still a younger man. I don't know what his experiences are, right? Also, too, when Kevin Samuels was alive, he always made sure to make a caveat or explain things that are different, or just in terms of how men choose women and how men of high status and high, earning potential choose women. And he always made a caveat for entertainers and athletes. So one thing about the situation is that this could turn into something because he's an entertainer. Also, second thing, actors are the thirstiest, hungriest people in the world. The most desperate people in the world are going to be artists because most of those people have it in their mind that they're not going to do anything but act. They don't have other skills. They're not business minded. You know what I'm saying? They don't think that way. They think very much in the subjective and use their imagination a lot. But unfortunately, it makes them very how can I say vulnerable to bad decisions and people who make bad decisions. So this guy right here, for one, you had this famous woman in front of you, right? Now, mind you, she got a little paper. So she has all the funds, right, to create a comfortable environment. She putting it on them like crazy, you feel me? And that's how they get you. What that young man needs to be doing right now is, boy, if you don't get out that goddamn relationship and work your damn craft, you're finally getting. She only fucking with you because you're famous right now. So I didn't know who you was till like recently. So if that's the case, that means you got a lot of work to do. I said the same thing about Travis Hunter. Young man, you don't need to be in no relationship. You need to put all that time into your game and your recovery. You're in the NFL now. Why are you getting married? Not even that. You're not even, you know what I'm saying? Not even, nowhere near 30. It's 25. So many Western men get caught up. And I've heard CJ talk about this, about taking your ego out of dealing with women. And a part of what the ego tells you is that she has to belong to me and only me. And don't get me wrong. If you come across that's like coming across a really great friend. You can have acquaintances and be the kind of person who can make friends, but everyone's not going to be your best friend. That's how I look at like getting into a long-lasting relationship. I think it's still possible and everything, but I do think that men in particular need to raise the price of marriage dramatically. The same way that women have raised the price of submission and all this type of shit. And what the men have done is just allowed the market to be a seller's market. And they're not realizing, well, if we stop buying, the price will come down. Which is going to come down. CJ been saying, yo, the ace is half off. Being that, yo, you can get you an attractive girl right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't worried about nothing. But also, I bring it up because at 37, getting ready to turn 38, I realized more than ever that, I'm open to it. I'm open to like a relationship. I'm open to possibly marriage in the future, but it has to make sense. But I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I would like to have more sons and everything. I like to have have like 3 more boys. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to have more of me in the world. But at the same time, I understand that, yo, when this starts taking off, I need more time. Like relationship, I'm in this relationship, and I'm like, damn. And that's one reason a man, especially a grown man with some business about him, should never be lonely or feel bored. Me personally, you want to know why I never feel lonely or bored? Because I'm already in 3 relationships. I'm in a relationship with myself and what's best for me. That's what I pay. That's why I pay the most attention to. My faith, everyday thing. What's going on with yours? And my purpose. I'm here with y'all. Whether I'm giving you a video from the car, whether I'm chopping up a video that I made before and giving y'all some shorts and everything, whether I'm posting a video consistently. That there, if you look on my page, I might not have times where it's been times where I haven't been posting longer videos for maybe a week or two, but y'all been getting quality shorts all day, every day. Just put something out there. I've been working like crazy, but I was like, fuck that. I changed around my day so that I'm like, yo, I gotta do at least like 5 shows a week, bro. No exceptions. You know what I'm saying? Even if they short shows, 5 shows a week. Because we're not skipping steps over here. All right? That's why you got to kill your vices and fuel your body for greatness. And then when you in line with all those 3 relationships right there, everything come together. That's why everything, I'm like, damn. And it's really sobering to think about when I first got out of my relationship. I had my emotional side and my logical side. My logical side was like, well, time's gonna move forward and your value is gonna go up and you'll be able to get another woman or get better women. Actually, at the very beginning of our relationship, I told my baby mother, because she was asking me about like, her now based. I think I mentioned that she didn't want to have kids. So at the time, I didn't really matter to me because like I'm like, well, I just met you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, like. You know what I mean? I didn't really expect to have a relationship. I just thought we were going to have some fun and hang out and, have a good time and everything. Then it turned into like a serious relationship and everything. And that's nothing to get the guys to understand. Another reason why it's not even good for men to get into or keep getting into relationships is because you can't keep recovering from those kind of experiences because breakups are traumatic. You can't keep going through that. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep going through, I talk to this one, now I talk to this one no more. Because the thing is that y'all stop talking for negative reasons. And having like unresolved issues or especially if like when you form a bond with someone, that person suddenly not being in your life anymore is traumatic. And it brings sorrow. You know what I mean? You can't keep it, you know what I mean? Just like I keep saying, I tell people like, yo, one of the reasons why I'm glad, I had an altercation with some other the other day. And I'm like, damn. I remember, you know what? I don't know. We talk this nigga again. Hey, y'all. Society has to run a con on men to get them to continue to produce, which I understand. You know what I'm saying? Because we need men to be productive, and especially the men who can produce, we need them to produce. Like it's like you need your grass guy to produce grass. Like when he stops producing grass, your whole relationship falls apart. All right, but you think about that. That's what it's like for a man. You're everyone's grass guy, and once you don't have the grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit.
Y'all niggas see what they doing out the way? Nigga, I got an army out here. Come outside. Come outside.
They don't know what's going on. They never had my back. He told me how much he wants to protect you. They never had my back.
They never had my back, bro. So, anywho, so Keith Sweat is in the news, for basically saying some basic stuff. Right, and they fought. I had someone argue with me back and forth on Twitter, and it was just, it's really just women trying to get attention from men. Honestly, that's most of why women be doing this shit, right? So we're gonna go ahead and play the clip, and we're gonna go ahead and react to it. So I'm not sure what inspired him to go on this rant, but here we go.
I don't know. I know y'all single women don't want to put yourselves out there like that. It's all good. I don't mind telling you, I'm single. There's too many entitlement things going on. I can't. You gotta bring son to the table to get son for me. I can't help it. They don't want to cook no more. I wash my own clothes. I iron my own clothes.
God damn, then you at 63 iron your own clothes. God damn. Whew.
You gotta do son for me. And I got to iron my own clothes and wash my own clothes and my mama told me how to iron, wash clothes.
This ain't got nothing to do with the performance, but yo, you hit him in the background?
I'm good. Sometimes at nighttime. Hey, friend. You know what I said, man?
You know what's funny about this clip is that it really flew over women's heads what he's saying. So I bring this up because again, it is the Western world's hustle to continue to trick men into, for the most part, taking a terrible deal. All right, and it's starting to become more and more apparent that modern women, like, they really like. I get, you know what it is too. A part of it is more households have been, I guess you could say, broken, but not. We have so many people who grew up in households where you didn't have your mother and father, or if your mother and father were in the house, your mother they didn't teach you to have a positive outlook on your father, which makes you not respect your father, which makes you not listen to his leadership, and then you make him less confident. You have to pay attention to people who do. People make you feel less confident. You cannot be around them. It's one thing if like you want to be confident in doing coke and meth. Now, of course, I want you being confident in that. But if you're trying to go to like computer school or like, you know, or like not minor key, but you know, an institution. I want you to be confident in that. But you cannot prosper if the people, especially as a father, as a man, you cannot afford to be around a woman who makes you feel like you're doing something wrong all the time. You cannot be around a woman who always has a complaint in her mouth. Because all she's going to do is basically keep pointing out things to you that aren't good about you. It's something different if there are things you can change right now. You know what I mean? Let's say, you know, you can be, I don't know, you know, saying good morning, you know what I mean? Being more cheerful, being more cleanly, being more organized, being more on time. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. Making time for a walk, you know, eating a little more healthy. These are all things you can change right now. Someone telling you, well, why can't you just make more money? It's crazy. But hey, listen, that's a man's life, though. You know what I mean? Good thing I'm working on it, right? But anywho, that's a man's life. But what the women heard was basically they heard accountability. They heard someone asking the women, yo, Kim, I gotta do better. He wasn't saying I'm desperate for a woman. He never said I really want a woman. At no point in that conversation does he say, I really wish I had somebody. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm not ashamed to say that I'm single. And he just said, you know what I'm saying, I got so many entitlement things going on. You know what I mean? And he's big. And even in that moment, right? Because if it was a woman airing shit out, she would be telling you the deepest, darkest secret of whatever this guy she fucking with that she felt as though is either doing her wrong or giving her a raw deal. You know what I'm saying? You know, like she be calling nigga names. I mean, he be all types of broke ass niggas, lame, whatever. Right? What he basically was saying was like, yo, I stay by myself. I ain't finna be in no relationship if you can't bring anything to the table. And so what people immediately jumped to was, oh, well, that's why you shouldn't be dealing with these young women. This nigga ain't said nothing about age, and you ain't seen him out with no young women. He more than likely, he's a black guy. More than likely, the women he's dealing with are probably in their 40s, late 30s and 40s. They may be young, and if they are, so what? I don't know what universe you guys are from where all the older men with means date ugly women, ugly, unattractive old women. I don't know what. Again, it's one thing if he can't. Men are going to get with who they can get with. Obviously, if he's around young women, then he's able to get young women. I'm not saying every man could do it, but I mean, if you're a guy, right? We all grew up in high school. You observed girls that you thought were attractive were dealing with guys in their 20s. That wasn't unheard of. Now, the first time you heard it, you was like, really? Whoa. Right? Or most men, a lot of men, if they talk to their girl has an experience with being in high school and having a much older boyfriend. Even if he was a few years older, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that wasn't uncommon. Also, if let's say, so in my case, right, you know, the men of my family are very handsome. Pardon me. You know what I'm saying? So my father, you know what I'm saying, especially in his prime, really, really handsome guy, right? So those girls are around my age. And they made a point to let every time someone who knew me met my father, in so many words, they would be like, hey, Kassan, I really want to blow your dad. I would love to blow him. Oh my God. And I'm not hating on my pops, but like, it's like, that's because it wouldn't be appropriate. It wouldn't be like, in a way that's like a compliment to me. It was more like, and again, hey, shout out to him. Now, mind you, I'm young and up and coming, but listen, it was my dad's time. That's my time now. You know what I'm saying? I was telling my young boy earlier, I said, listen, go ahead and get your money up, get yourself together, because them girls at your age, them my girls, right? Because it's my time now. You know what I mean? Ain't your time yet, buddy. All right, but you need to be getting ready for your time because you want to spend way more time as a grown-ass man than you ever did as a young person. Once you 30, you grown. Well, you grown now, but you're really grown. And growing is in you're supposed to have certain shit, have accomplished certain things at 30. You understand? But anyway, going back to that plantation talk, man. So what this is about, and I'm gonna keep bringing this up. Kevin Samuels had a brilliant broadcast or brilliant thought that he expressed, which was that older women discourage their daughters from dating older men because they're not in relationships. Black women are largely not in relationships in their older age. So therefore, they want to make sure that I want to make sure that's guys for us to date, because if they all dating young, because there's always enough young women to go around for guys with me. So you drive a nice car, if you're in pretty good shape. Let's say someone my age, right? It's nothing for me to pull a woman all the way down to 21, 20. All right, even younger than that, because again, all young women and women in general, they're attracted to the same thing. They're attracted to masculine men who have means and status. Even men who are attractive. If you got enough status, you can be unattractive. You got enough status, that don't matter. I remember this. There's this escort girl I follow. She's really funny. I remember she will post this African billionaire and call him her baby daddy just because he's rich and African. You know what I'm saying? And it's sounds kind of funny, but she's serious. You feel me? But I remember she would post that, and she would post him on his birthday and everything. This is all because he's a billionaire. You know what I mean? And he African. You know what I mean? And so anywho, just a little gem for you guys. So stay off that plantation, bro. Stay free. You know what I'm saying? And what Keith Sweat is also saying is that, I'm free. And when he went to the whole hey friend thing, what he's saying is that, he can still get him to come through. First of all, if a man got money, period, you always can get laid. But men don't like hearing this shit, and women don't like hearing it. Well, I'm sorry. Women condition, and this is another thing too that we gotta talk about what role do women play in how cowardly and how bitch made and how soft and how undetermined a lot of men are. A lot of men don't realize you can't level up in life. You can't make a change in your life because you think like your mother. You think like a woman, meaning that in your mind, you don't think about what is the action I'm going to take. What am I going to do in order to change my situation? When you think too much like your mother, you will talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and keep expressing. You ever notice that women have to have that? This is who women are. That's not their mind does not work. It doesn't think about execution like that. Not saying it won't, but I'm saying execution is not the top of the list. If anything, it's expressing an emotion and engaging in this emotion and riding it out and kind of seeing where things go. That's their thing. And you have a generation, two or three generations of men who think their feelings mean so much. I had a conversation, and I'm like, damn. So this guy's telling me about some stuff that he went through in his childhood. And I'm like, bro, you're grown. Like, you're grown. Why are you telling people this? Like I'm saying, in passing, and it's because, again, being raised by your mother, you think these are things that you think you want people to know. What you're basically something very personal about you, because he told me something that was very personal about himself, and I'm like, damn, and it's because people who engage in the victim mindset, they love to tell you something about themselves that make you say, "Oh my God, you went through that," or "Oh my God," but it is okay to speak on your past and whatnot, but it didn't help me to understand them better. It was more like, all right, basically you're being too vulnerable. That's another thing too. Men don't understand. There is no need for you to be very vulnerable with everybody. There's no need for that. If anything, what it does is make you want to always be vulnerable. Always be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is you're always sharing feelings, and you're always telling someone how to get to you. That's another reason why black men cannot get caught up in who's racist and who's not racist. Because don't get me wrong, something different than someone's in your face or doing something to you directly, and you have to act and have to respond, right? But always, I'm not gonna say using that, but we can kind of see the damage it does to the black psyche and our self-esteem by trying to label everyone as racist, you know what I'm saying, if they disagree with us or if we're not getting out of our way. You know, and that's one of the main tools that like really broke people at the door. I remember I was showing some of y'all basically like the face of Kendrick Lamar fans or the average Kendrick Lamar fan, and it's this nigga that basically I first saw him doing videos outside. I watched more of his videos, and he has a video on YouTube where he's getting wherever he's at. They had to kick the door down because obviously he didn't open the fucking door. So the door's getting kicked down, and he knows they're about to kick it down, and he wants to kick it down, and he records it. You know what I mean? And he gets arrested on camera, right? And in the caption, he's writing that basically he wasn't doing anything, and it's all about people being racist. And what's funny is when I watch that video, it helps me to understand the damage it does. Because you got to think about, people who are unsuccessful to the point where they rather scam than get a job, right? That's a part of it. So he's also suing Starbucks right now and trying to put it under the same veil of racism. You know what I'm saying? Because basically what he wants to do is say, all right, well, I'm a victim here. And because he sees an opportunity to get paid, he sees an opportunity to go viral. And he'd rather do that than work on his mental and get better. You know what I mean? And it made me also look at the kind of people who scream racism. You know what I'm saying? And again, because again, it stops you from ever becoming better. Not so much that in particular, but I'm just talking about getting in your feelings. All right? Because to a certain degree, it's like, black folks in particular, have gotten to a point where you like believe that everyone should agree with you. And that everybody should like you, and you don't realize that is what you're saying. So let's go ahead to Doechii, right? So this is a prime example.
And I hope we stand together. My brothers are...
So I want to share this clip again. Doechii. Whoa. So let's go ahead and just move forward here.
I just want to acknowledge all of the girls in my category that work so hard. They're extremely talented and very, very creative.
So this is Doechii at the BET Awards and whatnot. So towards the end, she mentions Donald Trump. Now, one of the reasons why, it's several reasons why her success is very damaging to black people in particular, okay? And so some people are saying that Glorilla is the one who should have won this award. She's probably right. Now, I'm not a big fan of Glorilla, but I've come to respect her more because the stuff I have heard, it's been pretty cool. You know what I mean? So I'm becoming more of a fan. I can't, being as though she comes off as very unintelligent, I can't really get that much into her, to be honest with you. So, there's that. But there's so many different reasons why the success of Doechii is damaging to black people. But we're going to take a quick break. I'll be right back, okay? So as I was saying, so one of the reasons why it's damaged is because people going to look at this story and what they see, whether they realize it or not, is you're seeing someone get something without working for it. And that's why people keep speaking out, because it's like, well, where the hell you come from? For the most part, the first time a lot of people heard about who Doechii was last year. And I'm not saying that she can't get any awards at all, but it was like, how are you headlining the fucking VMAs? You're at the VMAs? VMAs is for major artists, but it's definitely for somebody who has a huge industry push behind them, which is nothing wrong with that. But don't try to sell me this whole idea that basically that you're here organically. And not only that, but again, if black people see this kind of story, what it makes people think is that this is what success is, that you can have this level of success without necessarily earning it, right? So Harriet Eve 9 on Twitter writes, Doechii is the newest industry plant pretending to be a girl's girl, which needs to be outlawed, honestly, because girl's girl just means that I'm an extremely toxic woman when it comes to anything pertaining to men. The Democratic Party has another problematic, delusional black woman holding their water for trinkets. Glorilla is clearly killing it, but the industry has used her for the 2024 election cycle, and now they're on to the next one, right? And And this right here was really key. When she said the Democratic Party has another problematic, delusional black woman holding in water for triggers. You got to realize that modern women love seeing a girl like Doechii because you got to realize that to them, that's like seeing a cool kid. You know what I mean? You got to think about when you were younger and when you first was around or seen that kid that didn't listen to their parents and they went to bed when they wanted to and had mad freedom. You know what I mean? Now, depending on where your level of where your natural sense of right from wrong is, you may look at that and say, I'm going to go do that then. Or I see that he talked back to his mother, so now I'm going to try it. You feel me? So that's, you know what I mean? So when they see women like this, in their mind, they look at her and see strength. And I guess because to a certain degree, when someone doesn't give a F, it does translate into strength, because to a certain degree, that requires some, you know what I mean? Some fortitude, I guess. So I love the fact that people are speaking out against all this shit, because again, we don't need our kids, our young people thinking that this is life and believing in these lies. And again, and somebody else wrote on Twitter, Doechii is good, but y'all are forcing it. And she is talented. I mean, I don't dislike Doechii, but at the same time, that girl doesn't have no joints yet. I think she has some interesting records, and it sounds like there's some ability there. But she, again, what made you like her artist is when they came with one of them joints. That's how you became a fan. Not by them taking these extreme political stances that are pretty much for the most part anti-patriotic. I mean, that's not, you know, because really, again, this shit starts with Kanye. And when Kanye going viral before viral was a thing, when Kanye said George Bush doesn't care about black people, right? And he went viral for that back in 05, right? And then when he snatched the mic at the VMAs from Taylor Swift during her acceptance speech and everything, like all those unhinged moments, like that's pretty much what she's doing. And artists are good for that, because artists are always going to do whatever's going to get them the most attention. You know what I mean? But again, in this era, we have more people who can be free thinkers and speaking their mind, and they're speaking out against this. Thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you. Okay?
They don't know what's going on. They never had my back. He told me how much he wants to protect you. They never had my back.
All right, man. I saw a really interesting clip of Leon Thomas, so hopefully fair use, and hopefully they don't get mad at me for using this clip. So we're going to go ahead and play it. And this is it's off of Twitter. I don't know this guy's name, but shout out to the content creator. And this is shared from
he's stepping up
at the Elliot Wilson channel. So I'm going to play it real quick.
Forefront. And that's not by accident, man. I mean, I feel like, you know, sitting down and working with Drake on Certified Lover Boy gave me a new level of confidence. The amount of power that Drake was speaking into me around that time was just so potent and real. And during COVID, I was really like just loading.
He's stepping up to the forefront.
And that's not by accident, man. I mean, I feel like, you know, sitting down and working with Drake on Certified Lover Boy gave me a new level of confidence. The amount of power that Drake was speaking into me around that time was.
So this is Leon Thomas, you know what I'm saying? He's up and coming R&B singer. So I actually didn't know that he worked on Certified Lover Boy. Shout out to Industry Politics. I think her name was Portia. I love seeing haters get humbled and humiliated by Drake's good grace and influence on others. Elliot must have been like, cut. You know what I'm saying? So Elliot has been very vocal about this being a so-called dot era. So for the most part, I'm going to play a video in a little bit that's going to really exemplify like what I'm saying in terms of who really won and who was the underdog and who was seen as the bigger draw, right? And what the theme of the battle is. So a lot of people feel like, you know, Kendrick won and I do think Kendrick won in terms of public, sort of the court of public opinion. And what he did was, again, it was about strategy, but as far as the battle, as far as how we judge a battle, who's more entertaining, who had the better joints and whatnot, Drake washed the nigga, bro. Most of those songs were ass. All right, Euphoria was underwhelming. It was pretty good towards the end, but it's underwhelming. Even how the shit starts off, it's weird. All those joints was weird, bro. And like, and honestly, in those moments, it became apparent like how much better Drake is than you at music. If you play that shit back to back and whatnot, for the most part, you will skip all the Kendrick tracks. If we play them side by side in terms of the pace, the BPM, the like what he's choosing to talk about, I think that the second half of Euphoria was I think was fire, but it was more like a fire rap. I think he had like a few good bars. I think he said, I believe when you see you in Sexy Red, you see two bad bitches. That was fire. I hope my friends is my real friends on YMW Melody. I don't think you wrote that because that don't sound like that's a battle rap bar, and you don't do those. You know what I mean? But whatever, right? But you got to see who was the better artist. Family Matters obliterates Not Like Us any day. There's way more substance, you know what I mean? It's better rapping, the schemes, everything he's saying is fire. But in that, like I told y'all before, people have an innate desire to hate winners. Because as long as I hate on the winner, I don't have to be better. Or hate on a kind of person who does things differently, who's making their own path. Because to a certain degree, people know that they can't do that, and not that you're not capable of doing it. You just don't have the balls to be who you want to be. Shout out to Tony Montana. That's the bad guy, because you don't have the guts to be who you want to be. You're all a bunch of fucking assholes, because you don't have the guts to be who you want to be. So you look at people like me and say, "That's the bad guy." So what that make you? Good? Nah, but real talk though, people need that, especially some you weak men. So for the women, it's a matter of they know they can't get the attention of a guy like that, and for the men, they know that I'll never be on that level, and they go that ego again. Why are you so focused on the other person? Why don't you focus on doing your best? So shout out to Leon Thomas, because if you guys notice that people have either been silent or in full support of Kendrick, right? To the point where, and I'm actually gonna play another video after this, where these two brothers actually point out they make a really good point. But I'm gonna finish playing this drawing and playing the video.
It was just so potent and real. And during COVID, I was really like just loading, evolving as a human being.
Shout out to Leon Thomas and congratulations on everything that you accomplishing, man. And shout out to him for always making sure he show love to Drake, for being the one who, and I quote, spoke life into him, gave him the confidence to step out on his own. And I just like how he keep doing it in the face of Drake haters. Like he did it on the Breakfast Club in front of Charlamagne, and Charlamagne had to sit there and stew while somebody was talking positive about Drake on his platform. Now he's sitting in front of Elliot. I know Elliot so badly wanted to go to his producer at the end of that interview and be like, hey, that Drake portion, cutting that out.
Oh, that's what you mean. And that's one more thing too. And actually proves the point. If people have to mobilize their platforms against someone, what does it say about the influence and impact that person has? You've never seen an entire industry try to move against one person or turn on one person. You've never seen that. And not only that, I feel like a lot of different things that we think and believe, they start from listening to a loser. Even like someone like Charlamagne, right? Shout out to Charlamagne, but for the most part, that was his character at first, was just being a straight up hater and saying things you shouldn't say, saying really thirsty things about women to their face, and some about sucking up farts and drinking bath water. Cause like, yo, he a short, dark skinned nigga. He don't got the most self-esteem. These are all things that like niggas who don't get women do and say. You know what I'm saying? Or niggas that will dirty back on somebody. So from the beginning, he always hated on Drake. And with that, you gotta realize that when dudes like that, and it was mad dark skinned niggas hating on Drake. When dudes like that did that, people like Funk Flex, people like Charlamagne, other people hear you say that, and not listen. You're entitled to have your own opinion, but when you have a platform where a lot of people can hear you, that's how we are. The things that we listen to, it programs us. That's just what it is. When you hear an idea, that's why you have to control who you listen to. For better or worse, when you hear someone's ideas, it's like someone planting seeds in your mind. So if I listen to someone who's negative talking all day long, they're planting negative seeds in my mind. Pause. You know what I mean? So I said to say that these people can sway the thoughts and opinions of other people because of the platform. You know what I mean? And these are all things that Drake has had to kind of overcome. Especially given the beginning of his career, in the first couple of years of his career, that was the push to put. Oh, who's no this nigga soft and this and that. And like again, Edgar Man made an amazing point about if Drake would have listened to black people, he would not be Drake. Drake has had one of the craziest runs ever. He's never had a time when he wasn't hot. You can't say. And what's crazy is Drake is still the most streamed artist. I've seen people making videos saying that his records not sound like that no more. No, nigga, he's the most streamed artist, dummy. You can't be the most streamed and at the same time be falling off. And because people are so addicted to attention and the attention you get from hating on winners, because you got to realize you're doing that in your personal life too, because you're not able to see why are they winning. Shout out to Leon Thomas, bro. Yo, listen, my man stood strong. Elliot Wilson, you are not representing well for the light skins right now. Just gotta say it. So let's go to another video. So I saw this earlier. I thought this was really good.
Don't care.
Anytime you have the CEO of Universal.
This is why I think that Drake won, because they're coming down on him.
For sure. Drake definitely won that battle. Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. That's what I'm saying. Look, don't care. But
anytime you have the CEO of Universal Music high-fiving at the Grammys, high-fiving Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
When do we ever see
that was some cinematic shit. Dr. Dre and Lucian Grange high-fiving as if like mission accomplished. Mission complete was crazy, my nigga.
CEO fucking high-fiving anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
And then the nigga goes and performs Super Bowl a few days later.
Yeah. So
first rap, like
he wins. I don't know how many Grammys he won. He wins.
I think it was like
all
6,
5, 6, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
He wins that, even though his first album should have won Grammys, which he didn't.
Amazing album.
The best album.
Amazing.
Then he wins all these Grammys. Then the next week, what happens? Super Bowl. That's the biggest stage on earth, right?
Come on,
so you went. So who's pulling the strings here? So then you see Lucian Grange, who was in the Diddy lawsuit originally. He was in the original lawsuit with Diddy. Yeah. Then he drops out. So then what happens? It's all on Diddy now. Okay. And then now he's high-fiving Dr. Dre.
Shit's not weird to y'all?
I'm just saying. Here's the thing. Drake, he held everybody down for 15 plus summers.
15.
And everybody hates him now? That's not weird?
That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody all of a sudden hates this man. All of a sudden.
He has hit after hit after hit.
I don't care who they...
Oh, let's point out what they meant by held everybody down. I've been making this point for a minute that you can't have a genre cannot survive if there's not people like Drake who can get the next person high, who has a strong enough cosign because they're so talented that they're associated with this person. That's like gold. You know what I'm saying? That's like having a golden ticket. All right, and we to the point where people coined the stimulus package because of Drake. That man been giving out stimulus packages for however long. That nigga family tree, meaning people that he did songs with who blew up after that. You know what I'm saying? Or who benefited from a feature, a hook, or writing from Drake. Even Beyonce, even Hove. Everyone who's mattered in hip hop. Only person that Drake don't got a record with that matters is Nas. Okay? And I'll keep arguing. Kendrick knew that his music would have got better if he just kept collaborating with Drake. Because everyone who collaborates with Drake, their music got better. From Future, 21 Savage, Lil Baby. All these people went on to keep elevating and making better sounding music. Not just making music, but better sound. Because Kendrick's music didn't continue to sound better. Kendrick kind of, for the most part, be doing whatever. Honestly, I think he kind of know that, yo, I ain't really that creative, bro. Well, I can't continue to be super creative. You know what I mean? Or I can't keep doing this. Keep doing this bullshit. You know what I mean? But bigger than that, I saw a post from Kev Talks, and he was talking about how basically Kendrick wanted to be signed to Young Money. You know what I'm saying? Before Drake was. So there's so many different things. I mean, that this man is jealous of Drake for. You know what I mean? Because for the most part, Wayne did essentially choose Drake over Wayne. You know what I mean, if you think about that timeline, so Drake gets his win around 2008, around 08. Like, yo, Kendrick was on the come up, and a couple of years later, in 2011, you know what I mean. So I'm guessing they met in like 2010 or late 2010, or maybe in that year, 2011. Drake puts Kendrick on Take Care on Buried Alive. You know what I mean? On which track I thought that was Drake for like a minute. And that's how I learned who he was. And that's how I started listening to Kendrick. And I started to enjoy Section 80. Right? Because before this, Kendrick was a broke, struggling rapper. And he even raps about, he has a lyric talking about how he's sharing a bucket of KFC with his girl. And she's talking about how good this Drake song is. You know what I mean? So while Drake was becoming successful, he was still broke. And this is who his girl's listening to. You understand? And then, not only that, he wanted to be signing Young Money, and here he is living the life that he thinks he's supposed to have. Not only that, this same guy comes around and then helps you get popping. You got to realize that ego. The ego is what keeps him from giving up like Leon Thomas. Because you sound fucking crazy. Talk the way that you done gone at this nigga Drake. Given that, yo, you wouldn't even be in position to do this shit if he didn't put you on the album. He put you on that tour. I remember seeing this nigga name on NotRight.com, and I would go right over it because Kendrick Lamar does not sound like a nigga that I want to listen to. You understand? And I bring these things up because if you out here really getting it, you don't have time to waste with people who don't believe in you, people who want you to feel like you're wrong or want to bring you down or want to convince you that positive things about you are negative. You think you're better than people. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be around those kind of people because if you're around them, it wears down on your psyche. You mentally can't take that. And you shouldn't. Okay? And I bring it up because you won't be able to see jealousy because you don't relate to jealousy because you're focused on what is a focus on themselves. And they can be jealous, right? But if I'm more focused on what I have to do, there's not enough room for me to have jealous thoughts like that because I'm more focused on my goals. I see niggas with nicer cars all the time. I ride through super nice neighborhoods all the time, and I have to walk up on people's houses, but it's exposed me to what wealth looks like, and I'm more confident that I can attain these things, and you can too. But anyway, we'll stop it there. Love y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah.